update number 2 for the 2019 Pro Street and Gasser group build being sponsored by Dylan at NYS Models. I'm building the 66 Chevy Nova Pro Street, and been working primarily on the body, but I've got a few other things done, and wanted to give an update here. It's Saturday, March 30th. I'm going to try, hopefully this is going to work. I've got this ugly mold line right here. It's running, it's very, very deep, and the other side is perfectly smooth. I'm going to attempt to get that out of there. So I've gotten all the other ones, and well, let's see what happens here. I'm using about I'm guessing it's about a 600 grit. Unfortunately, this is a Flory Models sanding stick, and for whatever reason, Flory does not put the grits on. Need to stay up here and not hit that chrome strip, but it is coming out. I still see, I don't know if you can see on there, the dark line, which indicates that that's lower than everything else. So we're getting there, but we're certainly not down there yet. And you can see how it's building up right there on the end. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you see that little, I just scraped that off. That's the plastic actually rolling off. There we go. Now that line seems to have disappeared. A little bit more there on the end. We definitely got the high spot down. I'm just not real happy with the roll of that fender right now. So let's see if we can get a little more off of there. Again, there's still that dark blue line right there, which indicates that's lower than the surrounding material. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay, that's looking much better. Some of this we definitely will not be able to tell for certain until we prime it. But so this side of the is probably about a 600 grit. This side I would guess is about a 1200 grit. And we're going to do that. Now a buffing pad. And any luck here, we should get this fender right up and shiny here. It won't be on this one, but the next one here. Little, hate to say it, but spit. And this is a polishing pad. And let's see if we can get that. You know this is working when it starts to squeak. There it goes. I don't know if you can hear that squeaking. There we go. Now you know it's really buffing. And look at that, all gone. All right. Now, then I will take a little tool here and clean out the sanding material from the, let's see, I had a little paintbrush here. Here it is. I just had a cat jump into my lap, but there. Whoa. I have a cat that's trying to get on my shoulder now. So, I'll let that go as update number 3. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do some close-up video to show where all those pieces are gone. Be right back. A continuation here of update number 2. The right front fender, which I think yesterday I mentioned that it was the right front fender that had the really bad parting line. It was the left front fender. We'll get to that in a minute. Also back here on that parting line really ran all the way down the drip molding here, and then came straight across right in here, and then down the rear fender all the way to the back. I noticed in the video yesterday that I had some sanding scratches in here, so I put a little Tamiya surface primer in there last night and sanded that off. You'll note that the car really needs to be wiped down because it's got a lot of sanding debris on it. Let's see if I can get this into the light here and show that right here. Yep, okay. Right here, that parting line came down and went across, and also down in about halfway. Took that out on that side, also over on this side, and the parting line was all the way down this rear top of the fender. Was really pretty pronounced too. But I rounded all of that off, and then that parting line came straight across here, and I've removed all of that. It went up over the drip rail, and as I showed in the last part of the beginning part of this update, the fender was really in bad shape. Before I stopped for the evening last night, I had primed a couple of parts. These are those inner wheel wells. This is actually the inner part of the engine compartment, but this is the portion that will be in the wheel well. And as you notice on this one, there were 6 really nice ejector pins on it, which wouldn't have showed in the engine compartment, but would have shown very clearly if you looked up into the wheel well. Here's the other one that I've already taken those out, and I primed it. Came out pretty nicely. Also, I primed the frame, and right over here, and in fact you might be able to see a little bit of it. Let's see, yeah, you can barely make out some letters there. I think it was TMGM. And again, I put some Tamiya surface primer in there last night, and then I sanded that down. Haven't reprimed it yet, and we'll see if we can make those letters go away. Last thing I did was here inside the headliner, up by where they've molded in a couple of sun visors. There were 2 big ejection pins there, but they were wrapped right around the visor, so I took out the real ugly part, and there were also 2 more back here, and then there was a lot of printing. You can see the remnants of the black printing there, and I sanded that out with some 400 grit because it just looked terrible. I was afraid that even though it was just a pad print, I was afraid that that might show up through paint, so I decided to take it out. I've also put together the engine block, but I haven't done any more on that, and I did not prime any of the seats that I showed how they had that awful seam line on those as well. So this again is update number 2, and I'll keep on working and keep on doing updates. Dave from Styrene Replicas. Take care.